Second Chronicles chapter 3, Solomon began to build the house of the Lord in Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah was where Abraham offered up Isaac his son. Now that morning, if Abraham had offered 10,000 sheep instead of Isaac, if God said, offer up Isaac, and he said, Isaac, that's too much, I can't offer my son. I'll give 10,000 sheep to God. It would have cost Abraham nothing. Because he probably had 20,000 sheep. What does 10,000 sheep mean? But when God asked for Isaac, there was nothing more expensive that Abraham had. That's a lesson we got to learn. Abraham offered to God that which cost him something. And he didn't know. We know the end of the story, that Isaac didn't die. But Abraham did not know the end of the story. When he put Isaac on the altar, he lifted up the knife and he thought, this is it. I have to say goodbye to my son. And I'll tell you another thing I learned from that passage. Isaac was not a small boy. If you read there in Mount Moriah, Genesis 22, Isaac carried the wood all the way to the top of the mountain to place on the altar. He must have been about 20 years old at least to carry all that wood. A young, strong man of 20, 22. And it's not like telling a 3-year-old, lie down there. Abraham tells his 22-year-old son, lie down on the altar. Isaac says, where's the offering? He says, you're the offering. I'm going to kill you. And this 22-year-old young man says, okay, Dad. Boy, little things like this, if you meditate, I say, what a wonderful father Abraham was to bring up his son in such a way, with such a reverence for God, that when Abraham said, lie down there, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to offer you to God, he said, okay, Dad, if that's what you want to do. It'll be wonderful if you have children like that, who are submitted to God to such an extent and trust their father and mother to such an extent. And say, you lie down there, I'm going to offer you up to God. And you say, okay, Dad, I trust you. We don't have parents like that, and we don't have children like that. Not many anyway today. I'll tell you why. Because the parents themselves don't have the devotion to God that Abraham had. That's why. Don't blame the children. Lot was a nephew of Abraham. He also had children. You know what they did? His 2 girls, they committed adultery with their father. Can you believe it? That was Lot. They grew up in the same area. But look how Lot's children turned out, and look at Abraham's children. I see the same thing today. 2 types of Christians. See how these children turn out and see how these children turn out. It all depends on the father. Lot was after money. He was only interested in money. If I go there, I can make a lot of money. No wonder his children turned out that way. He took his children to that place. And they saw the father was passionate to make more and more money. What is the end? They commit adultery with their own father. Abraham, he had told Lot, Lot, you take what you want. I know I am the leader here. I'm your uncle. I am the one who came to Canaan. You only followed me. I have the right to make first choice, but I will not make first choice. You make a first choice. So he took Sodom, and Abraham said, I'll take what's left. And it's a beautiful passage there in Genesis 13 where the Lord told Abraham, Abraham, I've seen what you did just now. You gave up something for my sake. He said to Abraham, stand on this mountain and look north, south, east, west. All of this I will give to your children. And if you go to that land, Israel today, you know who's living there? Not Lot's children. No. He grabbed a little bit and he lost it. It's Abraham's children who are living there. God keeps his promise, I'll tell you that. You honor God, he'll honor you. He'll honor your children. Give to God that which costs you something.